I, in grade 11, was diagnosed with depression. It turned into schizoaffective disorder, turned into bipolar, so it changed 3 times. And I've been doing really well for a while. This is, the past 12 years, keeping journals, working at it, going for it. And I've found that the labels have been half the problem by far. And, I was one of those cases where I went into the hospital, grade 11, 15-minute conversation, you're depressed, take Celexa, take it for 8 months, doesn't do that much, on and off 13 different medications over a few years of time. And I found, one of the hardest things was getting over the label of, okay, so you are this. And it was like, okay, well, what does that really mean? I am that. Because that's not who I am. I'm beyond this label. Looking back at this now, I feel like, of course, the labels are there for a reason. You have to categorize things. But even just little tweaks in terms of how negative a label could sound versus how positive it sounds. Schizoaffective disorder, as soon as you're given that, okay, what is that? What do my friends think of this? That all of a sudden is an entire psychological challenge to go through. So I have an idea, which is just, without needing to make massive changes, what if even the smallest of tweaks to make something feel more like, hey, this is an opportunity, this is something, a challenge that you're given, but if you really work through this, you can strengthen yourself, you can actually use all of the skills and tools you've learned to excel, to contribute to the world. And I just wanted to ask your thoughts sort of on being able to just be so delicate with a label of, making it sound a certain way, and how much of that affects the patient, even just the word that you use.
He said it a lot better than I could. Not much to add. Yeah, especially in kids. There's such a short track record. There's so much stuff going on in their families. There's so much developmental stuff happening. I don't know about you, but lots of kids are using drugs as well. The diagnosis is never certain. And jumping at a diagnosis that takes on a life of its own and has a long half-life makes no sense. It's always, another thing I should have said was, it's always better to underdiagnose than overdiagnose. You can always step up if the course convinces you have to. It's very hard to step down. You've achieved it. But many people are stuck with it, not just in the external world and how the world treats them, but the way they see themselves. So congratulations, and keep the faith.